Oh my goodness, you should see this cracked out system I have. Alright. Let's build a musky fly. Huh? What do you think? Let's build a musky beast. And let's put some trashy bucktail in it. Alright. Some squimpish goodness. Alright. And some strung fuzzy fiber head material. And wing and flash. Alright. Let's lay down some bucktail first. I grab clumps of it. I cut it off. I reverse it again, like this. Now I kind of pull out all the stuff I don't want here. Alright. Hold it between my two fingers here. Right. Fan it out to the desired, round about the desired length. Right. Always comb it. Right. I always want to comb it to align it. Right. Yeah. And then we just lay it down. And we go in sections here. You'll notice I have my board marked here. That's because I've done a couple hundred of these. This is a pattern, something like this, I've commercialized, and this is based on one of Gunner's patterns, and I've, adapted it and marketed it through Musky Fool. So if you want something like this and you can't tie it, you can go to muskyfool.com and there'll be some. Just search my name and you'll see it in the Musky Flies. But if you do tie and you want to make some yourself, this is kind of a way that you could do it. So I have this marked here. This is from here to here is going to be our tail, and from here to here is going to be our head, and the rest of our body. And then right here, this mark here is the shoulders. I don't know if you can see it right there, the glare, but this one's going to be our shoulders, where our shoulders start, and then that's our head, right there. So we do the whole fly here, and then we tie in a tail section. After this, we'll go and we'll tie in a tail section, and then we'll wrap the brushes, finish the fly. I'm going to do everything in real time. I'm not going to fast forward anything, because I don't know how to do that. So you're just going to have to stick with me if you want to learn how to build this. But like always, there's going to be some tips and tricks along the way. I think that, in my opinion, if you're really serious about fly tying, these videos are the way to go. The quick cut videos are good for entertainment, in my opinion, but if you really want to learn how to master your craft, you need to watch videos where people are talking, right? Let's do a little bit more. I'm going to try to go as fast as I can now. So I generally lay down the bucktail first. Then do the strung fuzz head, and then squimpish, and then flash last. You can do, these are just the materials that I'm choosing to use right now. Keep this in mind. Like, the amount of materials that you could put in here is like endless. You can do anything you want, I was gonna put Nyat in this, and then I was like, no, you know what? Let's do some Squimpish. So that's something that you can do. Just a little tiny bit more of this. Yeah. It's important to comb everything. You want to comb it, always comb everything. Alright. One thing I want to emphasize is core length and density, because when you wrap everything that you overlay over the wire is going to wrap over itself again, right? Like, so the core, how much you have hanging over the thing is, that's how fat your core is going to be, right? So if you want a big fat core, overlay the hair more in the middle, right? So I personally, for this fly, especially in the rear, don't want that. So I do my best to make it as small core as possible, leading all the way up to when I put the second brush in. I'll start at the same density here, but then I'll almost immediately start to taper out, and I'll show you. You'll see. So because you always want to incorporate that shoulders area into your brush flies. If you're building the whole fly on the table like this, it's very important to give that fly shoulders, because if it doesn't have shoulders, it's not going to swim. It's not going to swim right? Like, just going to be a tube. You can put any kind of colors or anything you want. So now I'm start to build that taper down. All right. Can you see how I'm starting to slant out a little bit here? If you hear anything groaning, that's my stomach. Sorry. Hungry. Okay. And that's it for our bucktail. Right? But like, as you can see, I've tapered it out, right, to the shoulders. Alright, now let's do strung fuzz. Now, I like to do, you know, sometimes one color, but sometimes two color. Grab a hank of this, right, like this. Just separate it. Right. Cut it off. Now I fold it over my finger like this, right. Cut it again. Combined it. And then fold it over my finger. Then combined it. Then I take it and stack it like this. Now, if you wanted to put flash in, you could do it now, but I just lay it in at the end and just, you know, if you're tying a fly and you're going to put it in the brush like that, that's how you would incorporate the flash, more or less. Here, I'm just, on the brush table, you can just lay it out. So then, after it's all, you know, stacked up, I just gather it together like this, comb it again, comb it again, and then separate it a little bit. Yeah. And then I'll grab it like this, comb it again, just make sure. Okay, now overlap on here a little bit, like that. Just a little bit. And I'll switch colors. Let's do dark brown now. Same deal, wrap it over your finger. Cut it. Sometimes if you have a big long ones, you can take them and then kind of put them back in the middle, like that. Comb it again. Oh, geez, that was my stomach. I did not fart. That was my stomach. And this one goes kind of in the middle. Now I'm staggering these a little bit. I'm not just laying it 50-50. Like I'm kind of putting them offset. All right. Now, generally the last one, what I do is after I just comb it out, I don't taper it, like stack taper it. I comb it out, right? And then, because it's going to be right there, so get the density I want and figure out which side I want is going to be the back side, which is generally the butt. Sorry, which is you didn't see any of that. All right, it's generally this. So, okay, this is going to be the back side that comes like this, right? And this is going to be the end of the head, the tip. So what I do is I cut. I'm just trying to get an angle so you can see. I cut like this, and then like this, right? So I'm tapering these last, yeah, like that, right? I hope I can see that. You can see that against the brown. So yeah, you see I'm tapered the last, so the brush will be round on the end, right? The head will be round. So there we go. All right, Squimpish. Now let's do some yellow. The tail. Clean out the shorts now. I rip stack it a little bit. Grab the end of the longest ones. Pull it again like this till I get the desired length I want. Right now, some dudes, some people, you could just take it and lay it out long ways the whole way, but I generally like to think of it as two sides of the table. I'll show you what I mean. So think about here is good for length. Pinch it in the middle, right where you want the wire to be. If there's enough overlay on the one side, you can fold it in again and then cut it. Right, like fold it in again like this, and then cut this, and then incorporate that again. Right, so that way you're saving on materials, right? So I generally want it about, personally, this one, like about here. I always kind of square the end so I know what I'm working with. Move back, get rid of the really short shorts, and then pinch it at the bottom, and then I start with the longest ones first. And I lay them, some of them across lengthwise like that. Like this, and then when it gets to be too short for the lengthwise ones, I kind of start to taper them. But like you'll see now, I've laid two down that are this way, right? But there's a little bit of a thing here, right? So you want to definitely put more over here to veil that, right? Because you want everything to try to be as harmonious as possible, right? You see what I did? So now I'm putting some over here, and now some over here, and then some over here, and then some over here, right? Some over here, some over here, like that. Yeah. Over here, some over there. There we go. And some of the medium-sized ones I'll incorporate sometimes in the middle, just to fill out little spots that we might need, right? But when it gets to be like really shorts like this, just toss it. All right. Pink, green. I didn't grab any pink Squimpish. That's okay. We can put green over this. Shorts out. Rip it down. Out there is good. So as I said, you can put anything you want. A couple weeks ago, Gunner blew my mind and he put peacock curl in here. Strung peacock curl. I couldn't believe it. So this is some darker Squimpish because I wanted dark brown, but I don't have any, so I had to go with the dark brown, which just comes in a super long. This is not for civilian consumption though, but the same deal here, right? Boom, 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 boom. I'm holding on to the shortest ones each time and just ripping it down, right? I know you couldn't see that because realize that now because it was under the table, but that's okay. Now for this one has a lot of extra on the one side, right? So I'm folding that over. Full show, right? And then you can kind of hold that over now. It's got long ones, right? Stack them down in again. Yeah. That way you're cutting down on waste. Like, so you see after that thing was this long, right? But now it's perfect working length. And I only cut off a tiny little bit this much. Right? Where are we at? 18 minutes? Okay. Now, this one, maybe we can just pepper it. We'll pepper some in here, like this. Yeah. That would be cool. Yeah. Alright, flash. Let's use flash. This is what I love about Wing and Flash. You just lay it, it's just, so you just pull it out of the package and just lay it in. I don't know what other kind of package you would, or what else you would do with Flash, but this is how I work this stuff. Just put some lighter in the body, and then a little bit darker in the shoulders here, and then I'm going to put also this in the head. Put some in the shoulders. And then I'm going to take some, pull it out, and then lay it down in here, and then cut it, and then lay it down in here, and then cut it, and then just incorporate that little bit right there. And that's it. This brush is done. Let's spin it up. across. Wax. Always wax is what keeps our universe together when we're making brushes. Alright. Get that around there. Pinch it. Spin it. Cut this off. You know, the best tip I can give you when you're making brushes is when you cut the wire off, right? Leave a big tag. Leave a long 1-inch tag, right? Because when you cut it short, you're going to stab the shit out of yourself, right? And you know, Gunner, you know what I'm talking about. I know you do. So just make sure everything's kind of lined up. Drop this board out. Make sure everything's lined up. Some people go slow, some people go fast. I kind of go fast. That's personal preference, in my opinion. I like to go fast, especially for the initial spin. Brush here. I don't really go hard on that first brush. I spin it. I just go pretty light usually, and then the second spin up. After the second spin up, you can really start brushing the crap out of it. Yeah, maybe just a little bit more. Okay, that's it. We good. We good. Okay. Boom. Let's go. This is probably fun for you, right? Alright. So, we got our brush here. I left my tools over here, sorry. First, let's prep this hook and everything, because what we're doing here is, at the end of the day, this is a Beast Fleye, right? It's not like this, right? It's not the mono Beast Fleye, right? But it's a Beast Fleye, none the same. And with that in mind, I think what we're going to do is, with Musky in mind too, I should say, is because what I do is, a lot of times I wrap these around tubes, but lately I've had some, I don't know, we're gonna try to update the pattern, make it even more durable, right? So we're gonna wrap this around a wire, a shank, pardon me, a shank. And then we're going to attach that to the hook. But we're going to also use a stiff joint with this mono, right? Because I want that tail to be relatively stiff. But I also want it to be like fold when the fish eats it, right? So that's what we're gonna do. And this is the Flyman shank, the new one. I like these shanks because look, after we tie everything in, if you want, it's gonna still have this here, so you can do like a split ring with a stinger hanging off the back if you want. Right? If you want. It's up to you. Right, so let's do it. I just had this, you know, I'm just thinking about ways to improve this pattern, and I don't know, we need to go to extreme measures here. Alright, so tail. Tail, it's going to be Squimpish. We're going to do a pinch of bucktail and then Squimpish. It's a big yellow bucktail. What is it? And then what color should we do for the tail? In the Squimpish, what color? You tell me. Let me know in the comments. This is just a sparse little clump of bucktail that's going to be used to just like keep the it helps with the profile and keeps the tail, it keeps the body and the tail more homogeneous, in my opinion. You can do it without it. You can tie straight Squimpish, and a lot of times I do, especially my fishing, like fishing flies. But we're trying to do stuff here. I'm trying to show you what the deal is. So let's do the deal. Okay. Let's see, the tail, it's going to be yellow. Let's do like a... What do you think? Let's do... Yeah, let's do this. I think this is honeysuckle on the website, maybe. I don't know, though. Don't quote me on that. But, yeah, just little sparse Squimpish. And here, you know, I'm just doing Squimpish here, right? Like, if you want, you could do saddles. You can tie in bucktail, a little clump of bucktail, and then tent saddle, not saddles, schloppen. You can tent schloppen all around, you know, if you want. If you're going to do that, you might want to, yeah, so yeah, you can do that. And I'm just going to rip stack this down again like we did before. Just a little bit though. I want it like about there. Yeah, that's perfect. So I am going to bullet tie this Squimpish in. Like this, tie it in backwards and then fold it back. Right, for durability's sake. Distribute it around. Oh crap, okay, I almost forgot, but it's not too late. I wanted to tie in the mono straight first, but we can do that still, and it'll be perfectly fine. Especially because we're not putting a hook. I don't plan on putting a stinger hook back here. So the connection, I mean, we're trying to make the fly durable, but the connection for me is still going to be nice and solid. Here, so. All right. Yeah, we got plenty. Okay. Okay. Mono. Nice and tight thread base down, going back and forth, making the old finger trap. Alright, now let's take this with some glue. Okay, now let's wrap our tail brush. Whenever I'm going to palm or something, be it dubbing brush, not so much with things like, you know, body braid and stuff, because it's just so limp it doesn't matter. You can just tie it in regular and then just fold it over. But when I'm tying dubbing brushes in, especially, I always tie them in at a 90 degree angle. I think that's the angle. 90 degree angle, right? Like this, right? So when they, like that, can you see? So when I palmer it, it just wants to naturally go that way. And there's no lumps or bumps or anything. This, the little end of the thing, I just fold forward and then just tie it in. All right. Make sure it's nice and secure. We run forward. About here. Bring this guy over here. Park that. Do a little more glue here if you want. Alright, now vice grips, right? I like these little ones. They're perfect. I glued little foam in the jaws so it doesn't break the wire. So you can, well, it breaks the wire less. So I like to fold everything back for the first couple, you know, not everything, at the couple inches that I'm working here at a time, right? And you just fold it around. Making open spiral wraps. They're not right next to each other. Especially in this rear end of the fly, we want to keep it nice and, you know, we want it to breathe like a beast fly, right? That's why the That's what it's all about. Right. Now, you know, it's not like a saltwater mono beast fly, but so. We can go one more here. Yeah, that's it. All right. Here, make a little pathway here for a thread. Make sure you don't trap anything that's just come around here. Once, twice. Now I switch hands. Now I pull up with this on the dubbing brush and down with my thread, right? And I can feel it lock in. And now I can release these. I have this, it's not going anywhere. Now I can come over one more time actually. Cinch it down. Now I know I've got it. Let's don't fold this back with your fingernail. You're gonna stab the heck out of yourself eventually, one day. You're gonna get it, you'll get it. I just did a very dangerous move right there. Don't do it like I just did. Alright, so let's whip finish this. That's why I pinch my whip finishes. You see that? I have my whip finish still, right? I always pinch it. Every time I turn over, I always grab it, right? Because now, look, it slipped out of my hand. It slipped out of my finger, right? But the thread didn't go anywhere. I still have it right here, right? Take this other shank here. This is another one of the same shanks that I've clipped the end off, right? And now I'm going to run it through the eye, the eye of this shank. Right? Come on, you bastard. So we're going to tie it in just like that with the mono on top, right? So that way it'll have a break point in the middle, right? TP610. You asked for all this. This is all. I was perfectly content to just be a hermit, but y'all wanted what he wanted. y'all wanted to see how the sausage was made, right? You want to see how the sausage is made. That's it. This is how the sausage is made. Of course, if you don't want to, you can go to muskyfool.com, please, and support them and support me by purchasing my flies. All right. So what we can do is trim this off. I want this up forward a little bit, so I'm actually going to trim a little bit more of this off. I'm just going to snip the end of this off a little bit more. There we go. All right. Perfect. Sorry, I should go forward, right? Perfect. All right. There we go. Let's glue this. Every time there's like silence, I feel like I should keep talking. And then I say dumb things like, let's glue this. Here's the front brush. Let's incorporate this here. Now the last brush I did was like, what do you call it? Open spirals. But this I'm going to put right next to each other. Because I want density up front. I knew that was going to happen because this, I'm making a video. All right, that was the end of that wire. It's very sharp right there. That wasn't me just trying to emphasize something and then pulling too hard when I when I say it. It drives me nuts. Okay. Oh, forgive me. We'll be back on the road right shortly. That's what I like hackle pliers for. Grab broken thread. I almost threw my hackle pliers in the trash. Okay, let's make a little light wraps. Light wraps. I did it again. I'm not going to make you sit there and watch me do that again. It's like a razor blade. Okay. No problem. We got this. We got this. We got this. Jeez Louise, dude. Note to self, I have a little file in my tool caddy here that I just never use, and that's what I use it for, or that's what it's there for. It's there to for sharp metal, you know, file metal. Yeah. So, all right, let's be very careful here. Let's just build up a little thread. There we go. There we go. Just like that. There we go. Okay. The whip finished now. We're going to use our bobbin cradle here. We're going to wrap this. But first, we're going to take the point of this hook and put this thing over it. Actually, that's not going to fit. So we're going to put a little piece of foam. Because I keep stabbing myself all the time. And I don't like it. Vice grips. 45 minutes. Longest video ever. It's alright. Same deal here. Whoa. Alright, here's where I keep my comb. I have my comb on hand ready. Alright, that's why I like the rat tail comb. What? I realized that I'm gonna need to talk to this through this, so we can't put it in the mouth today. So, okay, now, as I said, touching, these ones are gonna be touching as close to touching as possible. I'm just preening everything back. Okay. So you'll notice them shoulders coming in already, maybe. I like brush flies. They're fun. They're really cool because you could put whatever you want in them. Like I said, the possibilities are endless. You can put anything in here. This head could be made out of anything. You know, I could just keep using bucktail and just going straight bucktail all the way, you know, for a kind of glider effect. Bulkheads, you know, like a bucktail bulkhead. You can do synthetics like this, crinkly synthetics are good, like this. Then, you know, you could do whatever you want. So, I can already tell that we are going to have to back up and do some other stuff. Right behind the head, we're going to come up a little bit short. This is a great tip for you already. This is bonus round, bonus material right here. Alright, so what happened was I went too close with my wraps, right? So I'm just going to back this up, right? Which is the easiest thing in the world to do. And you see like how upset I am about it, right? You just back it up. So easy, right? And just back it up to where you want. And then I'm going to go just past this green right here. We're going to go right here. And right here I'm going to throw in couple open spiral wraps, right? Enough to get me forward to the head, right? To push everything forward, right? Not to the point where it's going to leave a giant gap in there, right? But just to get us some space here, and the rest of the head is just going to lay back down on it, and you'll never notice, but it's going to move the bulk forward. It's going to move the bulk the bulk that we need forward, right? That's it. Right, now I'm going to go back to touch and wraps. We're going to pack this close. And alternately, if I went too much, right, you can push it back if you want. You can pack it back. If you get too much and you still have brush left over and you want to use it, you can push back the brush on the shank, you know. That's a good tip. Now this is going to be cool. This is going to be a cool bug. Right here. You all saw it live. Boom. Twice over, pulling up and down like I did before. Tying that down. Just going to fold it back. And then fold it forward. Ready to get behind it. Cut that off. Don't push this back with your fingernail. Use like a tool of some sort. So I'm just going to whip finish, and then we're going to trim the head a little bit. If you want, you can put eyes. I'm not gonna, but if you want, you can put eyes, if whatever you want. You know, you can use tab eyes, you can use posted dome eyes with zap goo. Cut the post short and put zap goo. You can put whatever you want, whatever your little heart desires. All right, let's tag this up with some brown. Give it a comb. And then after we give it a bath, all this will lay down and it'll look beautiful. So here I'm just going to take down some of these errant hairs real quick. Nothing crazy at all. Just kind of, whoa, I just made an aggressive cut by accident, but it's okay. Just some of these errant hairs like this, you know, just not, that's it. Don't go crazy with the trimming, because you can go crazy with the trimming and then the head gets too small. Okay, that's it. That's it. We're gonna give it a bath and then hit it with some glue. That's how you. That's your modern musky meat brush fly. This is a beast, you know. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed. Composite brush beast, I should say. Right? There you go. Have fun. Thanks for watching.